back to another episode of On the Bright Side. I'm your host, Caroline Susko. Merry Christmas to ya. Merry Christmas to ya. Yep, so I am so excited for Christmas. I feel like it's a little weird being down in the South for Christmas because I'm like, okay, it's still really, really nice out. Like, when is Santa coming? When is the snow coming? But a lot has gone on since the last time I chatted with you. Guys, I did something really exciting. So one of my followers had messaged me and she said, hey, I think you would be really good for this if you're feeling spontaneous. And I was like, ooh. And so she sends me this link and I fill out this link and it's for, we'll say something with Hollywood. That's all I can say right now. I jokingly applied and then I got an email saying, okay, we need you here at this time on this date. And I was like, never on my bingo card. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. And then last night I was at the bar, I got all ready, and then I got there and I was like, you know what, I give it literally 15 minutes until I'm out of here. Ordered mozzarella sticks, my friend ordered mac and cheese, truffle fries. We sat there, we finished eating, and then this was the time we were supposed to now go out on the town. And we said, but the couch sounds so nice. And I love in a friendship when you are on the exact same page about wanting to stay in and just like no longer do it, because you don't have to be like, can I go home now? Like, you don't have to ruin the vibes. Like, collectively you're like, okay, we're out, this was fun, peace be with you, bye. So today we have a fun little episode going. My idea was I was in the shower and I saw someone I followed Instagram post, and they made a post about how successful their business was doing, and it was a crazy amount of money this girl had made at such a young age. It is incredible, and she's such a hard-working girl boss. But I saw that post and I go, I feel like a failure. I looked at that post and I just started comparing myself, and I fell down the trap, around the rabbit hole of comparing myself on social media. And I think it's something we all do, whether we want to admit it or not. I saw this post on Instagram and it was like, it's not your life you need to fix. It's the amount of screen time you need to fix, because holy moly, are we on our phones so much. Like, it's literally just like muscle movement to grab our phone and to go into an app. And we forget sometimes that social media is highlights. It is everyone's best moments. It's everyone's best part of their days. It's the best versions of themselves going on the internet. Now, I know there's people out there that post the real stuff, that post videos when they're crying and give you the inside scoop of their life, but that is still just a part. We will never see someone's 24/7, especially on social media, whether we want to think we do, because sometimes we have that parasocial relationship with influencers and creators where we like think we know everything that's going on. We don't. We are not following them around 24/7, so we do not know what goes on behind the scenes. Sometimes when we see these things and there is no black and white answer, we tend to assume, and we assume like the best version of whatever it is. Oh my gosh, she has a dream job. We don't know what her work life looks like behind the scenes. One of my friends had her dream job and literally quit 3 months ago. I thought she was having the best time of her life. No, everyone's life is so different online and in the actual ways they're living it. I said this yesterday. I made a TikTok, and this is TMI, but like literally who cares? I literally had just popped a pimple and it popped 6 feet and I was like, holy shit. And then I literally went and filmed a TikTok in my cute fur outfit. And I was like, well, bet y'all didn't know I just popped a 6-foot pimple. I mean, like you, like in a really gross way, you don't know what people are doing 24/7. And by the way, I was dressed in my heels and my makeup and ready to go. I bet you did not know I was on the bathroom floor 10 minutes prior, popping and squeezing a pimple for my dear life. But yeah, today we're here to talk about the comparison trap of your 20s, because I feel like in your 20s, there is so much going on. There is so much stress. There is so much pressure in our society to find ourselves. Societally speaking, we are supposed to be married by 25, have kids by 28, be in a happy, loving relationship in all due time, have a job we absolutely love, because in the movies, we see the girls in their late 20s who have their dream job. Like, look at Confessions of a Shopaholic or not Confessions of a Shopaholic, she hates her job. Like, look at 13 Going on 30 and all those things. Everyone has these dream wonderful jobs and these dream wonderful apartments and these perfect boyfriends, and that's what we feel like we need to have next. I think a lot of us, our parents do not understand what it is like dating in 2025 and the differences life has brought from their time to our time. And like, I never had a boyfriend, and to older generations, that's a little like, ooh, like, girl, I was married by 22. What are you talking about? Whereas I'm like, you don't even understand the amount of words that have been invented to describe the dating scene of 2025. We got situationship, we have love bombing, we got Peter Pan syndrome. The list goes on. It's just a whole different game. My friend the other day, this guy she was talking to made her breakfast in bed, and we were all like, oh, no way. Like, the standards are so low in 2025 dating that things like making breakfast is like, they what? Like, he what? He did what? It's insane. So we have to come to terms with that we are not on the same timeline as our parents. Holy, are we not on the same timeline as our parents? My mom and dad were married at 26. I am 23 right now and still making a Christmas list. Dear Santa, I would really like some clothes. I need to afford rent this month. Like, it is a totally different ball game. Like, I'm 23 and I'm like, Mom, how do I make this doctor's appointment? Mom, how do I order this medicine? So different. When we see everything on social media and compare it to past generations, we think that we need to accelerate the timeline, and we think everything has to be done so much sooner, so much quicker, and so much better than we've done right now. So when we see people getting married when they're really young, or when we see people having kids when they're really young, or we see people getting their dream job at 25, we're like, oh my gosh, I'm so behind. But we don't realize the work that goes into these situations. We don't realize what goes on behind the scenes, because let me break it to you, we do not see someone's life 24/7. And because we are on social media 24/7 and we see the highlights of so many people's lives, we think everything in our life has to be perfect. We think our kitchen needs to be a clean marble white surface 24/7. Oh my gosh, if we could pan to my kitchen right now, we have a dish towel over there that's soaking, leaving water all over the sink, cups over there, food in the sink, dishwasher half unloaded, opened. Like, no one's going to post that, and that's not what people post. So obviously we think we have to have it all together. We think we have to have the most clear skin because everyone posts the best photos, and in all those photos their skin looks literally perfect. So if we get a pimple, if we get bumps on our face, if we get a bruise or whatever, we're like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing, because we don't see that normalized. Like, if I took my makeup off right now, it would be like, let's connect the dots and see what shape it makes on her face. That's how many pimples and pops and bruises and scars I have on my face right now. And that is life. I saw a girl the other day who is an influencer, and she came in to where I was the other day, and she had a bunch of little dots on her face, and beautiful, beautiful girl. And I was like, everyone is like this. We would never see that online, but in person, we just see that all these people are just normal human beings. And we forget that every person has imperfections, has different things, but we don't see that enough. So that's not the life we compare to. And when we fall into something like that, we beat ourselves up for it because we don't see it enough. And then we think we need to find the love of our life by 26 because that's what our parents did. That's what the society before did. Our friends are engaged and married and having kids. But look at us, and we compare. But we don't see a lot of those versions. Like I said before, we will never see someone's life 24/7. The only person that can see someone's life 24/7 is that person themselves. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Oh, that Instagram picture where they just announced a baby? We don't know. They could have been fighting an hour before it. An influencer might look so confident, but on the inside, she might be so defeated. We don't know the sacrifices they made to be there. We don't know if they've been going to therapy for the last year and working hard and making this come true because of their hard work. We are only seeing people's results, and we do not see what goes on behind the scenes for the years leading up to it. So we just think, oh, this came so easily to them. It came so naturally. No, a perfect example, Dancing with the Stars, Alex Earl, not a dancer. By the end of the season, incredible dancer. One may think she had years and years of dance experience. No, the girl just worked her ass off behind the screens, behind the cameras. That's what made her work pay off. We need to realize that the version we're measuring up to with someone else is a modified highlight. It is the best of their best moments they are putting out there. That, oh my gosh, she might have just made so much money, but we don't know how much she invested in before. We don't know the work and the hours and the sweat and the tears. We don't know, and we never will know. And it's not our business for us to know. But we have to realize there's so many strings being pulled behind the scenes. And people get there in all different ways, but it doesn't mean we need to beat ourselves up for not being good enough, for being behind. If I compared my life to the societal normal scale, I would be an absolute failure. I don't have a 9-to-5. I haven't had a boyfriend. I'm nowhere near ready to get married. I don't have $1 million saved. And here I am. And the funny thing is, I might not check off a single societal box, but I am the happiest I've ever been because that's not what I'm following. I'm following what I want to do. I'm following my dreams. I'm following a path that's meant for me. And there is no one path when it comes to how we are supposed to live our lives. Some people will find success at 20. Some people will find success at 50. Martha Stewart, she found her success at like 50, I think. At 20, she probably was like, what am I going to do with life? Mel Robbins, perfect example. She found her success only a couple years ago. Now she's a millionaire. There is no timeline for what comes next, and there is no amount of boxes that we need to be checking at a certain time, at a certain age. There are boxes that people are checking in their 80s for the first time, where societally it's something that should be being checked in their 20s. My friend just bought a house. She's my age. She's engaged. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm so happy for her. But is that anywhere near what my life is right now? No. And are we both so happy? Yes. Because happiness looks different on people. Happiness is not the same question answer for every single person. Just look in front of you. Close your eyes and just look at your own path and pat yourself on the back for how far you've come, because your life is yours and their life is theirs, and they stay separate. And it's not when one person gets this, the other person loses that opportunity. No, you are in two completely separate lanes. And the moment when they finally achieve something that they've worked all our lives for is what we compare to on our worst day. And we're like, oh, how did they get there? That is like literally comparing a 1 to an 100. They are at their 100% happiness and you are at your like, oh, you see, like that, they're not comparable. And then we start filling in the blanks with assumption. Oh my gosh, she posted this picture and she is smiling ear to ear. She must be happy 24/7. Oh my gosh, this girl is so confident in this video. She must have the most incredible confidence 24/7. Oh my gosh, her kitchen's so clean. She's so type A. Her house is always clean. It's always put together. How can I compare? How can I compete? And that's how we train our brains to work. And do you realize how toxic that is? To compare, and to never just stop and smile with what's in front of you and how far you've come, because we are so infatuated with someone else's wins, with someone else's next steps, that we can't just look at our own lane and say, we did it. And that's what we need to learn to do. That's what I need to learn to do. Because I think it is a shame yesterday that I caught myself in the shower at a super big moment in my life. And I said, oh, how can I be doing better? Because this person on social media is doing really well, really quickly. And I feel like a failure because it's taken me a little longer. That mindset will not get you anywhere. That mindset will make you walk 2 steps back. And that mindset will put you in the wrong direction. Because you are so accomplished. You've gotten this far. You are doing things your younger self dreamed of. You are healing yourself where younger you wasn't healed. You are doing amazing, amazing things that you could not do without yourself. And that's because you got to today. You put in the work in so many different ways. You put in the work behind the scenes and you got here. And we don't know what these people actually may be feeling. Like, okay, they post a picture and they're smiling, happy ear to ear. They might feel so insecure. The guy who just got his dream job, behind the scenes, he might absolutely hate it and realize, shoot, this is actually not a dream at all. This is my worst nightmare. We might see one of our friends that are married, and to us, it looks amazing. It looks happy. It looks like a dream. It looks like a notebook love. But to them, they feel trapped and they want out. We don't see the insecurities behind a photo. We don't see the insecurities behind a video. Those videos, those photos are seconds of their entire life. And ask yourself, how many seconds are we living in a day? I don't know. I can't do the math, but a whole lot. And imagine someone just posted one picture that took 1 second. Beep. That's not their whole life. That is 1 second. If you look at a whole circle and do like 1% of the amount of seconds that are in a whole day, that's nothing. That's not representing how they actually feel. And to us, these dream situations and these dream lives and the things that people are doing in their 20s, we're like, oh my gosh, I would trade anything to be in their position. We don't know what they would trade to get out. We will never know that. If I wasn't open as much as I am with my life and my anxiety and my mental health, you would just think I'm living a happy life in Charleston and I just skipped down to Charleston and was like, yeehaw, let's do this. No, I spent a year in therapy going every other week talking about how I wanted to live in Charleston because I felt this pull that I could not ignore and I knew that there was something there for me. And I went every other week. I cried. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I had panic attacks. I took 2 steps back. I took 1 step forward. And no one knows besides my therapist how much work I put in just to make it down to Charleston, just to literally move my life down the coast. I was like, I'm going to have a panic attack in the car. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to feel like my worst self again because that's how I felt in the beginning of college. What if? I trained my brain for over a year to be able to move to Charleston and to not let my anxiety win. And like I said, no one would ever know that. And I'm happy here now because I put in that work. And it's a lot of work that went behind the scenes that no one saw. You guys never saw what it took for me to get here. I will never see what it took for you to get your dream job, what it took for you to marry your husband, what it took for you to buy your first apartment or get out of a relationship. I will never know that. You are the only one that will truly know how much work and effort you put into that to get you where you are now. And then being in your 20s, you compare literally everything. You compare friendships like, oh my gosh, they have like 20 friends. I have 2. But you have to realize friendships are quality over quantity. I had a lot of friends growing up, and I've definitely dwindled down my friends over the past 5 years. And I am more fulfilled and happier than ever because the friends I have in my life are really good, solid friends that I know have my back, that I know are supporting me. That just proves the point. It will always be quality over quantity. I know you would rather have 2 of your best friends on a trip than be surrounded by 20 people that you barely know. And we think in our 20s that there's no such thing as failed friendships, and we feel like if we have a failed friendship, we're a failure. When I failed at friendships, when I lost friendships, when I walked away from friendships, I felt like an absolute failure because I was like, no one else goes through this as much as I do. Like, why can't I just find the right people in my life? It's because no one talks about it enough. And on social media especially, you might be seeing people posting together, but the biggest piece of advice I had when I went into college was just remember, people can pose and make it look like they are best friends, but again, you do not know what goes behind the scenes. People can get together for a selfie, click, and then you look online and like, oh my gosh, this girl has so many friends. No, that's not the case. I had that life. I cried every other week because I wasn't invited somewhere because someone was rude. I was rude. Hell, it was just not a happy place. And from an outside perspective, from the photos I posted, oh my gosh, you would have thought we were probably going to make a reality TV show, be bonded for life because of how close we looked. And then we move into careers and we look at everyone else and we feel like, oh my gosh, if we're not into a typical 9 to 5, we are failing. And to some of you, you might think that's the case. But to me, I do not think that's the case. For me personally, I don't want to do a 9 to 5 because I don't want to work for someone else's dreams. I want to see my dreams come into fruition, and I want to put that work in for my own dreams. But yeah, sometimes starting your own business, starting your own venture may not always be financially rewarding at first, but it makes us happy. It doesn't make us itch and say, oh my gosh, I wonder what life would have been if we did that. We no longer think like that. And then we go on LinkedIn. Another app that I absolutely hate, LinkedIn, is the silliest app because everyone is like, you thought Instagram people were not being themselves. LinkedIn is a whole nother ballgame. Talking in like punctuation in big words. Congratulations, comma, Caroline, exclamation point. So excited to see you grow. Like, no one talks like that. Stop talking like you're a robot. At least Instagram, we're like talking how we really are. We're like, slay queen. And that's how I knew I would never be in the LinkedIn world, because I just did not belong there. So anyways, when we go on LinkedIn and we see all people's jobs and what they're doing, we start to success shame ourselves. And we feel embarrassed of where we are at this exact point because people are farther. And someone will always have it better. Someone will always have it bigger. Someone will always have the thing you want. You can look at your life and say, I'm happy with exactly what's in front of me, or you can say, I want more. And the people who say, I want more, are the ones that are unfulfilled because they can't look at their life right in front of them and say, I'm happy, I did it, I'm here. And it's crazy because people compare paychecks more than the actual quality of their life, more than the quality of their job, more than how they wake up every day and whether they're miserable or not. I don't know about you, but I have found out a lot this year that I would rather wake up every day so happy and be excited to make someone laugh or make someone feel heard or make someone just feel happy when I do what I do and talk how I talk every day. Am I making a lot of money? No. Am I financially rolling in money? Absolutely not. Not yet. When we see people's salary on LinkedIn, okay, we might be seeing their salary, but we don't know how actually happy they are. We don't know if they're miserable waking up every day and dragging themselves to work. But the person who might be making $40K less might be the happiest they've ever been. They might be making less, but they're actually doing what they love. And at the end of the day, you don't go into the afterlife or heaven or wherever you think you may go with money. You go with your experiences and your memories. And that's what, like, at the end of the day, money is not coming with you. What's coming with you is your experiences with how you woke up every day, with the emotions you brought to the world every day. And it is so important that you make them happy ones. I know we have to pay bills. I know that living certain ways isn't always financially stable or in the cards for us, but there's ways to do it. And one way to just be happier is stop comparing yourself to someone else's. Like, okay, they might be having a really good job, but they might be so miserable every day and just counting the hours until they can go home. That's what you have to remember. You can't just fill in the blanks out. Okay, maybe they're making a lot of money, but it doesn't mean they're happy. Money does not buy happiness. And you will never be happy if you keep comparing yourself to what someone else has. You just have to focus on exactly what is in front of you, what you do have, what you have accomplished, what you've gotten to thus far. And remember, we don't see the sacrifices that go on behind the scenes. We don't know what people are giving up to follow their dream or have this career or make this money. Everyone has different importances in life. Sometimes money might be really important to someone, whereas quality time with family might be more important. Every person's pillars differentiate. So when you look at your life and you're like, ugh, I hate my life, or you're miserable, I don't think you really do. Yes, there are people that do, but I think for most of us, we just have way too much scrolling time and screen time, and that's what we choose to put our off time on. You know, when I have nothing to do, I'm scrolling on TikTok. Yes, that is what I've trained myself to do, but is it always fulfilling to do that? No. Do I know some days that I'm going to be absolutely fed up with the amount of success I see on my TikTok when I'm just like, come on, like, when's my turn to win? The things we have in front of us is what someone's biggest dreams are, to have what we have right in front of us right now. So we have to celebrate exactly what we have and pat ourselves on the back and say, I'm so happy with where I am right now because this is exactly where I'm meant to be. This is exactly what I'm supposed to have. And this is exactly what's supposed to be in front of me right now. So there is a crazy trap in your 20s where you will compare, you will think you need to get married at this time and have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a significant other by this time and have a house by this time. No. You can find a house at 20, fall in love at 60. There is no right time. Everything is different. Hell, you could never fall in love and you could be so, so happy. There are so many different pathways. Just be mindful of your screen time. Be mindful of what you're consuming. And remember, you are on your own path, my friend, and everything comes to you when it's meant to come to you. And you just have to have faith and believe that and trust that you are on the right timing of your life and that things will come when they're supposed to. So with that, I love you all so much. Make sure you're following out On the Bright Side Pod with 20's on Instagram. Get ready for 2026. I already have 3 fantastic guests booked. Oh my gosh. And one more thing, you guys. I got my Spotify Wrapped back for On the Bright Side. I could literally cry. Top 30% of Spotify videos. 45 countries reached. Thank you for supporting my dream, for coming along on this journey, and for letting me get behind this mic every other week and talk and, I don't know, make people smile, I hope, make people laugh. Oh, I just love you guys so much, and I'm so grateful, and I will always be grateful for this On the Bright Side family. So I love you all so much, and remember to stay looking on the bright side, and I promise you it'll serve you really well. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Bye.